Okay, welcome to the Beat Brawl, everyone! Sorry about that, technical issues. Mr. Pillow sorted it. Very good, very good. I am joined by Uber. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, everyone.
Woo! Alright, we are here with our latest installment of the Beta Brawl. It's been nearly a year since the last one. Yeah, and lots of things have changed in Awesomenauts since that's happened. And probably since the last time I played Awesomenauts itself as well. I have been messing around in this beta, so, you know, deadlift stuff. That's the big change, that's the big new thing. But since I last played, you know, that match ID thing is so useful. It's so good for organizing tournaments. How did we cope without it?
I know, it's so nice. Like the Awesome Brawl Weekly, if anyone remembers that, was not the most fun thing to set up, but this just makes it so much easier. It's just like you can even do live matches. All you gotta do is get the ID from the custom, and just like bam, 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 bam. I mean, even if you have computer issues, like I just did, it's so easy to just get back into everything, and it's just makes everything so streamlined.
Yes, I am Burhi, by the way, so I essentially host the beta brawls. So this is all focused on deadlift this time around. That means there must be at least one deadlift in every single game. In the very first few rounds, they're going to be best of one, so both teams must play deadlift. And as we get into the best of threes later on in the tournament, it's going to go on a sort of rotation system. So first game, one team's going to get deadlift. Second game, the next team's going to get deadlift, and if it goes to a game 3, then both teams must pick and play as a deadlift. So, are we ready to get into the first game then, Uber?
I think so. We're going to see a lot of bulls. And that's going to be exciting. New characters! And he seems pretty interesting too. Pardon?
Please pick Lone Star as well. All the bulls.
Oh, okay.
So many bulls.
Just Lone Star, and we'll just all in knockback. Who needs anything else? Just get like, oh yeah. Just play like Penny too. You know, only pounce and auto attack. Let's just do that. That'll be the strat. Anyways, yeah, we are getting into the first draft here. If you wouldn't mind, I would like to take us through it real quick.
Yes. Okay. So Roast Us, who are on the blue team right now, or in this upcoming game, they picked Swiggins, Rocco, and Clunk. And Dank Wankers, who I'm not a fan of that name. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna call them DW. Shoutouts to Arthur, the animated series. They picked Ted. We have got Penny, and we also have Coco. So a very brawl-heavy team there.
Well, actually, Clunk and Coco are going to be replaced by Deadlift because of the way Not Strafter works.
I completely forgot about that.
Because of the way Not Strafter works, we don't have Deadlift in Not Strafter, and we've also got our lovely Deadlift template there in the stream. It very, very much matches with everything else. So yeah, but anyways, the last picks until the grand finals will always have a Deadlift at the end for the last two picks for both teams.
So as I said, this is one of the first rounds, so it's a best of one. So Roasters, recap, Swiggins, Rocco, Deadlift, and DW have Ted, Penny, and also Deadlift. What do you think of these picks then, before we go into the game?
Well, with Deadlift here, Deadlift's a new character, and honestly, I haven't tried him out too much. He's got nice knockback and a really, really good shield that completely removes damage in an area, like for about 1,000 damage, and you can upgrade it. Really good. But I think that's going to help a lot with both of these teams here, because on Team DW, you've got the Ted on Ribbit, and Ted on Ribbit is really good, especially for holding that mid, and he can just kind of hold bottom lane. And because this is the 3.5 beta, Piercing is actually cheaper too, so he can actually hold both lanes quite effectively. And then for Team Roast Us, they've got the lockdown with Swiggins and plenty of damage with Rocco here, and then they're just going to have the team fight potential with Deadlift here, because that barrier is going to really help soak up that airstrike damage. And he's also got a nice knockback too in order to position enemies. But they do, they don't have the best push compared to, like, you know, Ted, and Deadlift's push is really good because of his structure damage being quite good, and he's also got the barrier here, which is great against the turrets as well. It protect your team and let you body the turrets a lot easier. But really, like, Blue has a lot more, or Team Roast Us has a lot more lockdown and kill potential than DW, but DW has all that push and still plenty of like positioning, and they have the potential to get some frags too.
Yeah, I think particularly with the deadlift being enforced, then we're kind of going to see a lot more teams favor even more brawl-heavy comps because Deadlift just seems just like he's so good in that team fight, just that sustained team fight with the brawling. Just like everyone just following him in.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun to watch though.
I want to be in the shield.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun to watch though, just because like brawl-heavy games are really fun to watch, and sometimes they're quick, and there's just constant action all the time. So I mean, like, RIP game is broken, but I mean, like, whatever.
I think, yeah, definitely DW just have their slight advantage with the TED on Ribbit. They've got more push potential as well, and like you said, the stage control with the TED on Ribbit. We'll see how it plays out.
And we will see how it plays this match right now.
Would you like
me to? Yes, I'm at the 15-second mark in this replay here. Would you like me to give you a countdown? All right,
please.
3, 2, 1, go.
Pumping iron, the best feeling in the world.
All right, so just one of the big changes that some of us nearly missed is that you start with straight in with both skills and 150 solar. So we're going to see a few upgrades being bought straight away that does not change. There's a big difference from previous installments of the game.
I mean, really, now Tetris is way more viable, which is awesome, because I love Tetris, and I was just back into it anyways. But now just having abilities all the time makes certain characters like Genji and Ted a lot more effective in the early game, I think. But Jambo's going to try and go in for the kill on Ted, but he's actually going to get punished for it and killed by the turret while trying to go for that deep kill. Well, Jas is actually super hurt as well. Skinner's going to get taken up by the airstrike, and that's the power of Ted on Ribbit, meaning Blue is already down 2 knots. Like, we were just talking about, like, the patches and stuff, but meanwhile, just Team Rostas just like getting annihilated here.
That could have gone so easily the other way in favor of Blue as well. Both teams were very weak, and it's like the odd missed melee attack or here and there, you know, just turned that in terms of DW's favor.
Absolutely. Looking at the starting upgrades here, like Deadlift's upgrades, some people probably aren't very familiar with them, but we've got a heal over time on Deadlift's auto attack here on the blue Deadlift, Jambo, and on the red Deadlift, we've actually got a damage on shield if you lunge out of shield. It sort of explodes your shield in an AoE for 200 damage at level 1 in order to do a little bit of extra damage. Oh my god, he gets the airstrike on Swiggins behind the tower while he's trying to teleport.
Nice.
This is some good TED stuff, and I like seeing good TEDs. And he's doing a great job here with these airstrikes on Ribbit, and we have Jambo with some reconnection issues. No shame, just airstriking him in the face. Well, Jelly's going to try and go and do a little bit of damage here with this AoE on the shield. But it seems like there's just some clear coming out from Team, well, maybe D-Wank, although that's still a pretty bad name. But they're starting to get this clear and get some ground going. Well, we still have a reconnection issue. And what?
Yeah, so no dates found for this section of the replay, apparently.
We might have, I think a host migration may have happened, so we might be blind for like 15 seconds here. Maybe try skipping ahead a few seconds.
The timer is still going.
I'm skipping ahead a bit to see if there's any more issues. Oh dear. Okay, so it doesn't come back until about 4:45.
4:45.
It doesn't seem like the game actually progressed. It was just a sort of pause for about 2 minutes here because of.
All right, we're gonna pause on 4:45 then.
Yeah, I'm pausing on 4:45. All right.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we're back in action. It seems like they paused for a bit. It was just Jambo's still reconnecting. We're just having connection issues, and
he's gone.
Well, I believe the DC rules will be the same as the the doubles tournament, where you get 3 minutes to reconnect before play continues. Until then, you just clear install.
Looks like he's back, so just waiting for the drop a bit.
Oh yeah, what a fantastic first match where, like, you know, all set up, very professional stream. Everything is
very
good, nothing going wrong. But either way,
I think Jambo just did that on purpose, just so his scoreboard resets. So he's now has 0 deaths.
So his
Jambo
scoreboard resets. Yeah, he didn't
die. It's just
about that.
Not feeding.
Oh, he didn't die at all, man. Don't worry. He is the carry. He is the hard carry. the swole, the beef of the team, and he's gonna go in with the shield and just the auto attack swings. Gonna eat that airstrike with that shield, which is so useful, just being able to deny any damage while Jazz is really low here, with Jelly taking quite a bit of damage. Not too much, but you know, you've got Ted here taking a lot of damage as well from Rocco, but the airstrike's gonna help him get some cover while also hitting Jambo, because he does not have his shield up and ready to roll. Well, Jelly here trying to fight Skner and Stony, and actually Skner is gonna go down to Penny with the pulse and a couple of auto attack swings, and now the red team has another kill advantage, making it 4-0, and with a 2-level advantage as well, giving them a huge, just like snowball advantage.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got Roast used Deadlift going for a more healy sort of support build, more like that, whereas DW's Deadlift is going for straight up damage, going for that Brawl. Increase the Brawl potential, increase the power in team fights rather than a sustain supporting build. What do you think? Which do you think's going to win out long run?
I think Deadlift, just after looking at him a bit, I mean, I might be wrong because he's such a new character with a nice airstrike, almost killing both of them. He's not going to have a back though, doesn't have a double airstrike, so he'll be able to teleport out. But I think, personally, that going for the sort of shield and Brawl, sort of the damage and shield upgrades is going to be the way to go with Deadlift, unless he gets changed in any way before he gets out of beta.
And he's dead.
Going for that lunge damage, that extra shielding, or maybe that shield break damage. Oh,
good airstrike.
Ted's gonna get Ted's gonna get another great airstrike on Jambo here after he finally got their first kill of the match. You know, not feeding, he's got that kill now, but Penny's gonna get killed and is now dropping. Jambo coming back as well, but we just got the red team here with the mid, making it a bit of a 2v2. You've probably seen plenty of this if you were watching the double tournament from yesterday.
Oh, what do you think of that teleporting pose from what's his face, Deadlift?
I think it is absolutely magnificent and
It's
truly
fabulous, isn't it?
encapsulates like just everything manly about
He's
a
now
non-human, about
Just 'cause
a non-human cow person. But either way, we got Jambo just going around. Skner's gonna take a bunch of damage and go down to Jess, getting another kill. Penny getting another kill. That's what I mean to say. With lots of poking with the auto attacks and just trying not to get any more unnecessary deaths on either side. Wow, we've got Jambo just clearing here, using his shield in order to just take all the damage. Something so nice about Deadlift is you could just do that. You could just stand there and take damage for a bit if you just have that shield up. You don't have to, and its cooldown isn't unbearably long, being about 10 or 11 seconds, I believe. So it's not too bad, so you can kind of use it quite a bit if you're in a sticky situation. But there's the airstrike, not going to hit Jambo, but the pulse is, and he's going to have to fall back and perhaps buy some upgrades. And we're seeing on the bottom.
No one's picked up because there's a an upgrade on Deadlift's auto attack that is a stun. I'm surprised we're not seeing any of that right now. So if you get this upgrade and you land a, what is it? The equivalent of the pounces, charge, is it called? Whatever. If you land that, then your next auto attack is a stun for 0.4 seconds.
Yes.
I'm surprised no one's going for, like, neither of them are going for that and trying to work into initiation.
I feel like there might be kind of a stipulation with Deadlift's auto attack. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost similar to Swiggin's anchor. It is extremely strong, but it's kind of hard to hit people with.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the bad thing about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to get really close to him. You got to get in their faces, and while you're swinging, you're a little slower. He does definitely have the the beefiness, the health in order to go do that. Well, Skner's in a bad spot. You're going to get chased by the whole red team and get killed by the power lunge, which is what the upgrade is called, but the ability is called, and he is going to go down for another kill for Team D.
Definitely approve of the slow being picked up by DW's Deadlift right now. Really good team support build, particularly for that brawling and trying to like lock one of the enemy teams down. I guess Roche, you don't really need it as the first turret goes down because they have a Swiggins. They don't really need that lockdown potential.
And this is kind of what I meant by the shield upgrades before. Getting that slow on shield and that extra shield health, along with just rushing damage, I think is going to be the way to go for Deadlift. You might want to switch it up a bit and maybe try to get that auto attack stun. Well, Jambo's going to go down once again with Swiggins just getting back, with the blue team getting kind of rolled here, while red team is going to take the solar boss from Team Roastus and D-Wank. I should probably stop calling them red and blue, but whatever. And we've got more slow on the shield from the red Deadlift, and then the amp damage, or not really amp damage, the increased damage of allies while they're in a shield. And it's about 28%, which is really, really good. I believe he also has a weaken as well, so he's quite good at assisting his teammates there with that shield.
Essentially, it feels like to play a bit of a mixture between Scalder, Penny, and Yuri in a weird way, because of that shield. It almost acts like a bubble that can buff allies and debuff enemies. But it's a really interesting playstyle you end up having with Deadlift, and I think he's really fun. Like, just the few times I've tried him out.
Honestly, I think he's going to be one of the characters that I like to play. It depends on how, like, if I just don't feel like I'm going to do good enough at him or not, or if I'm just going to, like, have fun with it. But it'll really depend, I think. But he just seems so fun to play. But really, this is the thing with new characters, especially since he's literally still in beta. Like, there's lots of undiscovered stuff. We're seeing 2 drastically different builds for both Deadlifts here. The only common thing being the
that's really good.
Being the damage on power lunge. So you gotta figure it out too. But I feel like the way to go will be sort of the brawling shield upgrades and also the auto attack launch upgrades.
Just getting out on DW's team. The red Penny getting out by the skin of his teeth, pulling off usual Penny shenanigans. Any other character would have been so dead then. This game has not changed if Penny can still pull off stuff like that.
Absolutely. Penny's just such a slippery bugger. Kind of like how Nas got like a really tiny hitbox and a very strange jump. It's similar with Penny. And it's just so annoying to fight them sometimes, just being able to run around. Just pretty much never get punished for stuff unless you get caught in a really long snare or something.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. But I love seeing the variety in builds between the 2 new character players. I think that's definitely what we want to see out of this sort of tournament. It's like, test everything, try different things, try new things. Because we want to be testing stuff. This is the beta Brawl. Try the new things. Try it all out.
Yeah, this is a good way to kind of test out Deadlift in a more competitive mindset as well, instead of just like, you know, the normal sort of public ranked you know, battle system. You also have something like, you know, Knots Drafter, and with slightly better teams you can have that coordination and just see how Deadlift will play out. And I think he's going to be a fairly strong pick in competitive, at least, you know, like a viable pick, because of that shield and because of his nice brawl potential and teamfight potential with that shield. And I think he's also going to be an okay pick in just solo queue or just playing in normal games as well. Well, we've got Team Dank here making a push on the top lane, taking a lot of damage. Airstrike trying to come out, not going to hit Stony. He's going to be able to dodge that. With Jambo doing his fabulous pose and going back to base. Well,
it's almost like a taunt in itself, isn't it?
It really is. You just taunt. You just like, look at them. You won't have this ever because I have a golden prosthetic arm that's going to make me stronger than you. That's fair. But it's totally beefy. Yeah, it's not anything else. Don't worry.
You are this. You never get this.
Pretty much. I'm gonna see Team D-Wank here, just trying to. I think they're just trying to take this top tower, and they've got this shield to really help. Like that shield's gonna absorb all of the anchor damage, and Jambo's gonna go down after trying to go in. Turret's gonna go down. Everybody's really low here, so if anyone tries to initiate, it might be death for either team.
Yeah, DW can go, keeps going straight in, get a big load of damage on the base. Jelly needs to be a little bit careful, but he's got the shield up, so whatevs for right now. They are stuck behind that turret, so they just need to be a little bit careful in terms of their escape options. You could... they're not going to, but they could get a bit of leeway off that, but they got themselves split up and picked off one by one as a result. Jambo finally gets back, but there's not much he can do as a melee character without piercing. And the game looks like it's going to go to DW right now, and it is.
Yeah, something I want to mention here. We got Penny hard carried that, and it was an auto attack Penny. That's interesting.
Swipe damage coming into a big play in those team fights, just pretty much cancelling out Deadlift's on Rosu's Deadlift shield on their team. Just one swipe and then the whole team is damped. They've taken a load of damage and the shield's down. And Swiggin's anchor probably would have been killed and all that, because it's a big AoE damage, amp damage thing. It's so good for team fights still. That hasn't changed. That will never change.
I'm seeing a slight UI bug as well. It seems like Penny has her abilities and then buys them again in the item spot menu. But you know what, Ronimo, please, just they'll fix it eventually. But either way, that's a good win for Team DW here, showing that. So I feel like the red the red deadlift here had the right idea. I feel like Jelly had the right idea with the build, going for the brawling shield and for a little more damage rather than going for the, you know, sustain and health on shield right away. Health on shield I feel like is more of a luxury late game item, because really all you need is just to be able to block most of that damage from the big burst initiation from someone like Swiggins, or like, say, like a Clonk, or if you get like thrown into turret, it's really going to help survive those team fights, and the slow is just going to help chasing. Shield is going to be great for pushing and chasing, I think, more than, and surviving those team fights.
I think the two deadlifts, the difference between the two deadlifts here was not just the different builds, but they built correctly to their team. The DW definitely built correctly to his team. I don't think Roast built correctly to the team that they had. He went for sort of a sustainy, maybe just like a lane pushy build, but did not have the team to back that up. Like they needed some more pushy Norts, like maybe Raylan.
Well, the blue team just didn't have that much push in general. Exactly. Yeah, he went for I feel like he might have gone for the sustain lane push just because the blue team didn't have that much lane push. Well, you know, the deadlift on the red team here went for the brawl and the slow, so to help with chasing, which, you know, is much better with the Ted on your team. Because Ted
they would have been. Yeah, Rosie would have been much better with the build that the red team had, because it would have complemented the teammates a lot better. And
indeed,
they were just left outmatched because the DW's team had better synergy because of that, I think. We shall see how this progresses as teams develop their meta in the beta brawls. So, are we taking a break for the next game to get that set up?
Yeah, I believe we're going to have a short break until we get the next game set up. This was a best of one, so the team that lost, Team Rostas, I don't think is going to be in this anymore. This is a short little one-day tournament, short bracket. But either way, it's going to have more deadlift action, more deadlift gameplay, serious strats, learn all the super strats, and just like stomp pubs with them. And we will be back so you can learn more of those strats.
Yes, stay tuned, guys. See you in a bit.